It has officially been a year, or longer depending on when you watch this, since the original Steven Universe series concluded with the hour-long epic, Change Your Mind. Now, at the time of the premiere, we had no idea this was the end of the original Steven Universe, that the proper main storyline would come to a close. A year ago, before the clock hit 7 p.m., I didn't know what to expect. If a gem was going to get shattered, if anyone would be left behind on Homeworld, or if we would end on any sort of bittersweet cliffhanger that would leave us hungry for more. What I didn't expect was for Cartoon Network's bingo card to be completely 100% every single prediction being correct. Like, actually, who approved of this? It was kinda cool for everything on the bingo card to be right, but at the same time, you spoiled the series finale hours ahead of time? Let me stop. Now that Change Your Mind is a year old, I just wanted to take a look back at the episode. How did it hold up? Now that the dust has settled, is it a good conclusion, a good series finale, a good season finale? Because for a while, like months and months after it premiered, the internet got kind of mad at the episode. Hot takes that it ruined the series, that the diamonds being redeemed would only drag things down going forward, yada yada yada. But now we're pretty well into Steven Universe future, and I feel like most of those claims, most of those fears for the future ended up being off the mark and honestly a little bit silly. Do I think the episode holds up? Absolutely. Now yes, I totally see where people are coming from when they say the episode was rushed. But honestly, the word rushed is often used to describe fast pacing for the worst, and I feel as if Change Your Mind's pacing isn't for the worst. Now at this point, it's kind of an open secret that the crew wanted more time. Sugar said as much at a Barnes & Noble meetup, and I'm sure if the crew could go back and add more to it, they would have. But they were at a point where they didn't know if the show would continue past this point, or if season 5 and the movie would effectively make up the end. And I feel like if we did have more episodes, or an entire extra season of the original series, Change Your Mind itself wouldn't have changed all too much. For everything Rebecca Sugar intended, for Yellow and Blue to turn face, for White Diamond to stay in her own head until Steven forces his way in, for Steven's gem finally being removed, and all the little goodies such as the fusions and the new crystal gem reformations, I feel as if most, if not all those things, could have only happened in a series finale. From a storytelling perspective, the stakes in Change Your Mind are the highest they've ever been, and I feel as if more episodes for the story would have been used to properly explain more of Homeworld society and maybe give more time with the diamonds. But Change Your Mind in itself always would have opened up at the point where it started. The crystal gems are bubbled, Steven and Connie are trapped on Homeworld, help is millions of miles away, and all 3 diamonds are still against Steven. If you took any part of Change Your Mind in itself and put it in a previous episode, making it its own episode, the stakes for what a climactic story should be greatly diminishes. And sure, the effort Steven goes through in all these scenarios could have been fleshed out to make it feel a bit more earned, but I feel as if Steven getting through the diamonds only feels easy if you look at the finale on a surface level. Because if you look at it as, oh, Steven only had a handful of interactions with the diamonds, yet they're suddenly listening to him and crying and falling for his words just like that, then yeah, it's going to seem rushed. But the point of Steven appeasing to the diamonds is that everything prior earned those moments. Every single experience with either a human or a gem prepared Steven for when he was inevitably going to go toe-to-toe with the diamonds, and that's made evident with certain callbacks. Which, of course, Change Your Mind is full of. Change Your Mind isn't perfect, but I do feel as if a lot of the criticism does stem from the idea of more. A factor is definitely the huge waiting game a lot of fans had to go through, but the hiatuses in itself, regardless of what slanderous YouTube videos will tell you, was not the fault of the crew. In fact, Change Your Mind was both storyboarded and recorded in June of 2017. It finished post-production in April 2018. It didn't air on television until January 2019. But even up until that point, it was just a continuous stream of the crew telling this story. For them, there was never any breaks. Any episodes where they thought and went, well, it's been a huge hiatus, we definitely have to go all in with this one, it was actually the opposite. The crew made the show, then Cartoon Network looked at the show, looked at where the story was, and decided how to pace the series little by little from there. And it's kind of obvious now that the hiatuses of season 5 especially was that there wouldn't be a giant gap between Change Your Mind and the movie. Special thanks to today's sponsor, NordVPN. While surfing the internet, privacy should be the top priority. Anyone can take your data within the blink of an eye, and who knows what they'd do with it. One false click, and some stranger you don't even know is keeping track of your every move. Spooky stuff, right? A VPN is the easiest way to protect yourself from these breaches and security, and NordVPN offers a wide variety of different locations for you to pop on over and cause your IP address to be hidden from any devious schemers out there who want it. I always wanted to travel the world, and at the very least, now my IP address can within the press of a button. A perk that I personally love is that some shows I want to watch on Netflix are only available in other territories. For example, Steven Universe, not on Netflix in the US, but with NordVPN, boom, there it is. If you head over to nordvpn.org/theroundtable and use the code TheRoundtable at checkout, you can get a 75% discount on a 3-year plan with 1 month free. I know, it's too good to pass up on. All of this doesn't just apply to you surfing on your computer as well, by the way. NordVPN works for your browser, phone, tablet, pretty much any device that has an app store. As you can imagine, it comes in pretty handy. One more time, that's nordvpn.org/theroundtable and use the code TheRoundtable, one word, at checkout. But focusing on the actual episode, while it does throw a lot at you, I truly think that's just time well spent, because every big moment really hits hard for me. Blue Diamond's speech to Steven about how she thought Pink Diamond was always failing this world, but if Pink was happier on Earth, maybe this world was failing her. Yellow finally breaking down after thousands of years, begging Blue Diamond to stop using her power on her, only for everyone to truly understand that these tears are of Yellow's own accord and no one else's. The fusions were definitely fan service, but I don't really see a problem with that. If anything, if these fusions were introduced sooner, then the Rose and Change Your Mind would have felt a bit pointless. But as it stands, Rainbow Quartz 2.0 was used to not just save Pearl, but to save Ruby and Sapphire. And Sunstone and Obsidian are both used in order to infiltrate the head of White Diamond's ship. You could argue that despite that, Sunstone and Rainbow could have been introduced earlier, and that Obsidian as a fusion is big enough to stand on its own in the finale. But when you start this episode, there's no way you're expecting every remaining fusion from the core crystal gems to show up. My only real beef with this episode is that Bismuth, Peridot, and Lapis pretty much do nothing. Connie was given a pivotal role, but aside from smacking around the diamond mech, delivering Connie's new sword, and a few jokes here and there, they don't really do anything of significance in this finale, which is sad because I feel like Peridot especially was built up to have a huge confrontation with any of the diamonds. And I feel as if this entire B team could have had some great interactions with White Diamond, as she finds herself in front of gems who have changed objectively for the better once they left the confines of Homeworld. Lapis's immense power, Peridot discovering she has metal manipulation, Bismuth's innovation, all traits that are certainly not flaws that only could have happened once they defected. White Diamond herself was fantastic, and I do wish we had more appearances from her, but at the same time you can only get so much out of someone who refuses to leave their own head. Lars in the off-color storyline definitely got shafted. When they sit out the entire conflict and just show up on Earth at the end, you do wonder, what was the greater significance to her space shenanigans? But the truth is, while stories with them likely did end up on the cutting room floor, it's pretty obvious the crew just wanted to parody Captain Harlock. Now I hope one day we do get scrap scenes from this episode because they definitely do exist. There's no way this talented team of people came together to make a finale, a very long finale, and just happened to walk away with an exact 44-minute episode. I wouldn't be surprised if the original pitch for this episode was closer to an exact hour, and only after those pitches and later in post-production was the episode cut down to its current state. So perhaps a longer cut, any potential lost storyboards would actually flesh out some moments for the better, but as it stands, I'm still pretty content with this episode. Is it perfect? No. Is it a good conclusion? Yes. Is it a little bit dragged down from episodes prior? Yes. But on its own, it is worthy of being the Steven Universe finale. Not only does it encapsulate everything the series is about, giving us a great allegory for trans kids, #trans rights, the ultimate cinema quality fusion dance, and a very sweet song to close out this entire chapter on. In a few months' time, we'll likely be given the finale of Steven Universe Future, and I'm excited to lay down these two finales to compare and contrast contrast, but my only hopes for that one so far is that it can at least be as long as Change Your Mind, but we'll definitely have to wait and see. But as always, this is just my stream of consciousness, and I want to hear yours. How do you feel about Change Your Mind a year later? Does it hold up? Is there anything that you wish was different? Is there anything you appreciate more now than ever? Please, let us know in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at OshrickVox. We're also on Instagram. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel, or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. OshrickVox, signing out.